So we go from our hot pit lane to turn number 1, something that's unique when races start, but it's all about off the back straightaway on our very first run to the chicane to see if someone's in a 5, 6, 8 rider draft, if they got the brakes. So the lights go off. Here we go. We're going racing. It looks like Kyle Wyman got a good launch, and he's going to hold the inside line, and it's going to be the 33 who leads us into turn 1. Oh, man. And an accident. Down goes a couple riders.
One of them looks like
Rispoli.
Rispoli looks like one of them, and I'm not sure who the other one was, but yep, that was big down into turn number 1. I want to is it Baz? Could be Baz.
Yeah, it looks like Baz. I can tell from the helmet. So Loris Baz out of this one with Rispoli. A little bit of contact, and you never know, you know, with this time first race start with the extra width of those bags, contact is made, and it looks like both riders are up and going to be okay, and that's the best you can hope for.
Yep. So that's gonna promote a couple other guys here. As you look like the battle for third right now is kind of raging, and it's going to be Hayden Gillum and Bradley Smith there. Hayden Gillum takes that point in third, and then looks like it could be Tyler O'Hara or Oren Sorgen. No, that's it. Yeah, it's hard to just see the number there, Greg, that I'm missing. I see Rocco Landers there, just back. So. Yeah, that's a big shakeup down into turn 1, and these guys are going to be so close all year long. I'm trying to figure out. It looks like James just rode kind of into the back of Baz there. Now, Greg, you got to keep in mind here, Baz never been here before. He's never started from pit lane before, so you know, it looks like he was just kind of getting used to where he was supposed to be. Did absolutely nothing wrong, but maybe he just checked up, and James just didn't account for that, and he just got into the back of Loris, and you can see he made a mess of the bikes, and James immediately goes over and checks on Loris Baz there.
Yeah, he just got into those brakes hard and had to kind of stand it up, did Rispoli, and clip the rear tire, and down they go. But back to the race up front, and it looks like Kyle Wyman just starting to just get away.
Yeah, now you can see, Greg, perfect weather here today at Daytona, but you can see Herfoss is able to make up that ground, and he's made up that ground by getting down into turn 1 off of that top speed that you're talking about, and he's made up the ground that he needs to on Kyle. Yeah, he's about 4 seconds off in that first split. I haven't seen to see if he's actually pulled back into the pits, because he did pop up on our board with the first split, so I'll have to see. This race is still raging on between these two guys. Bradley's had a look over his shoulder now.
His team, the Harley-Davidson by Dynojet Factory Racing team, has been able to accomplish has been great, and that work that Kyle Wyman has put in also paying dividends for Bradley Smith in second place. And I guarantee you, down here in Daytona Beach, Florida, at the end of Bike Week 2025, Harley-Davidson would like nothing more than to have a 1-2 on the podium in Mission King of the Baggers race number 1 of 2 for the weekend. And Bradley Smith under braking, getting a little sideways. Keep in mind, these are motorcycles with no electronic aids. Yeah, you know, there's no traction control like you see on super bikes. So everything they're doing is all right wrist. It's kind of a throwback type racing here in Mission King of the Baggers. And tip of the cap to Bradley Smith, who shows up, gets some tests in. Kyle Wyman on the 33 as he heads towards the chicane. And they come across, and it's like 101 for Kyle in sector number 1. So there's no extreme hurry up in that one, as coming off the back straight into the chicane comes the battle for second place. And now it looks like Bradley Smith is in a good position to draft and pass. Yeah, the number 33, Kyle Wyman, in our first race of 2025, comes across the stripe. He'll take the checkered flag and the maximum 25 points to lead this championship. And Bradley Smith will be second place, 2.5 seconds behind his teammate Cameron Peterson in his first race on the podium. And coming across, the number 78 of Kyle Owensorg on the Tab Performance Racing Indian Challenger.